The WWE Universe is being played, and I'm here to blow the lid off one of the darkest scandals shaking the entire foundation of World Wrestling Entertainment, a scandal so corrosive that it threatens not just one superstar but the very credibility of WWE's so-called women's evolution. While fans have been fed distraction after distraction, manufactured feuds, scripted rivalries, and hollow promos, behind the curtain WWE's corporate machine has been orchestrating a disgraceful cover-up, and at the center of this storm is none other than Naomi, the reigning women's world champion, who now finds herself sacrificed on the altar of corporate politics. The company wants you to believe this is simple, that Naomi just wasn't medically cleared for Raw, that this is nothing more than a routine issue. But in reality the truth is far uglier, and the deeper you look the more sinister it becomes. Insiders close to the situation have confirmed that Naomi's supposed medical concerns are nothing but a convenient smokescreen for a campaign of character assassination designed to undermine a champion whose popularity became too dangerous for WWE's carefully manufactured narrative. Naomi's authentic connection with the fans, her unpolished passion, and her refusal to bow down to scripts that didn't reflect her character made her unpredictable, powerful, and above all uncontrollable, and history has shown us that when a superstar grows bigger than the machine WWE built, the suits find a way to cut them back down. This is not about Naomi's health, it's about silencing a voice they can't manage and dismantling momentum they can't own. Behind closed doors, Naomi has clashed with creative not because of poor performances. Her in-ring work has been exceptional and her promos connect across demographics, but because she dared to demand storylines that actually made sense for her character and her audience. In today's WWE, that sort of courage is treated as rebellion, and rebellion is punished. While she sits at home, WWE is already grooming replacements, lining up new faces to potentially seize her title spot as if her reign meant nothing, as if the bond she built with the fans could be erased overnight. That's the real disrespect. WWE wants to talk about wellness and concern, but what they're really doing is executing a corporate maneuver that makes Vince McMahon's infamous backstage politics look tame by comparison. This is about stripping Naomi of her momentum, gutting her credibility, and making her an example of what happens when a champion refuses to fall in line. And the problem stretches far beyond Naomi herself, it's a symptom of WWE's wider negligence toward their women's division. They parade slogans about women's empowerment, about evolution, about giving women equal ground. But when push comes to shove, the women's titles are treated like interchangeable props, shuffled around whenever convenient, discarded without regard for continuity, prestige, or fan investment. How many times have reigns been cut short by vague medical excuses? How many times has the company scrambled to plug holes with rushed storylines instead of carefully protecting the value of its champions? Naomi's case is not an accident. It's part of a pattern where corporate convenience trumps both talent welfare and storytelling integrity. Fans are seeing through the charade this time. Social media is ablaze with outrage, hashtags trending, posts going viral, fans connecting dots between Naomi's treatment and WWE's long-standing habit of discarding wrestlers who become too independent or too beloved. What terrifies WWE most is that unlike in decades past, they can't control this narrative anymore. The media landscape has changed. Independent journalists, fan platforms, and Naomi's own supporters are tearing apart the sanitized explanations, refusing to swallow the company's vague excuses. WWE can't hide behind selective press releases or blackout coverage anymore. And the truth is bleeding through the cracks whether they like it or not. Even the so-called medical angle is full of holes. Sources suggest that Naomi's condition, whatever it truly is, could have been addressed long before it escalated to the point of threatening her reign, but WWE ignored warning signs, prioritized television appearances, and ultimately let the situation spiral until they could weaponize it as justification for a title crisis. Meanwhile, inconsistencies in how medical clearance is handled are raising even bigger questions. Some wrestlers are given months of rehab, detailed support, and protection of their storyline arcs. Others, like Naomi, are dropped into limbo with vague statements and zero transparency. The hypocrisy is glaring, and the inequity is impossible to ignore. Now we arrive at the most devastating consequence, the looming threat of vacating the Women's World Championship. This isn't just a procedural step, it's an indictment of WWE's complete failure to plan, protect, and respect its champions. A title vacation is supposed to be the last resort, used only in the most unavoidable cases, yet WWE seems almost eager to wipe the slate clean, erase Naomi's reign, and reshuffle the division without regard for months of build-up, storylines, or fan investment. Every woman who has been working toward a program with Naomi now stands in limbo, their arcs shattered because WWE mismanaged one champion's health. The ripple effects of this corporate blunder are catastrophic, derailing not only Naomi's career trajectory but the entire creative direction of the women's roster. And let's not forget the human cost. Naomi is more than a performer, she's a person who has poured her body, her time, her passion into entertaining millions, yet WWE has reduced her to a corporate asset whose value is conditional and disposable. Instead of supporting her with transparency, compassion, and genuine medical care, the company has chosen the path of secrecy, narrative control, and cold corporate maneuvering. Their media strategy is telling. They've issued no detailed updates, no medical timeline, no accountability. Compare that to real sports, where organizations publish clear injury reports and respect fans with open communication. WWE's silence isn't care, it's control, and it's designed to keep both Naomi and the fans in the dark. What WWE leadership fails to see is that every time they mishandle a situation like this, they burn credibility not just with one star but with their entire fanbase and roster. Wrestlers are watching. They see how Naomi is treated, and it shapes how they trust the company with their futures. Fans are watching. They see the hypocrisy, and it erodes their willingness to emotionally invest in the product. This isn't just about one champion, it's about WWE's survival as an institution that still claims to care about its talent and its universe. The company stands at a crossroads. They can either double down on secrecy, manipulation, and corporate spin, or they can finally embrace transparency, accountability, and humanity. The choice they make in Naomi's case will echo through every future contract negotiation, every creative dispute, every fan interaction, and every headline. The truth is unavoidable, this scandal is bigger than wrestling. It's a reflection of how massive corporations treat their workers and their audiences, prioritizing optics and profit over fairness and dignity. Naomi has become a symbol, not just of a champion under siege, but of a system that punishes authenticity and independence. The fans have the power to demand better, and if they maintain pressure, if they refuse to be silenced by WWE's smoke and mirrors, they can force accountability that reverberates far beyond one title reign. Naomi deserves better. The fans deserve better. Wrestling itself deserves better. The future of the women's division, and maybe even the integrity of WWE, depends on what happens next.